Day number 11 and my rails to trails stretch. You can see this straight road that I'm on right now. For the next 50 miles from West Yellowstone to Warm Springs, I'll be on some version of this rails to trails. Part of it's under construction, but for the most part I'll be following the old railroad path, which is pretty cool. Today the plan is to do 13 miles up to Reyes Pass and camp up in that area. West Yellowstone was very good to me. Had a couple meals, had a big salad, had a burger, had some beers, watched a movie in my hotel room, took a couple showers, everything was good. And mailed some stuff home. I lost about a pound of stuff that I've been carrying for the last 140 miles that I hadn't used yet, so I shipped it home. And now I'm just enjoying this pleasant little walk along the rails to trails. This is definitely a OHV route, lots of side-by-sides going by and quads going by, but everybody's been pretty cool. I actually scored some trail magic just now from two guys from Salt Lake. They stopped and gave me a bottle of water and a Diet Coke, which was pretty awesome, and chatted about the trail a little bit. They are used to kind of dropping water for people in Utah in the deserts out on long hikes, so super cool, very appreciative. Not really sure what the water situation is today. I thought I was going to be going along a creek, and actually the water they gave me is going to be a nice little extra, much needed. So hopefully I do find a creek here. I'm approaching Reyes Pass, and that was my kind of plan for the night, but it'll all be based on where I find some water. Got a moosey and a moose calf out here. Looking right at me, hard to see, but I don't want to hang around much. Good evening, just wrapping up day number 11. Living the high life these days. I was in a hotel last night. I've got a nice little picnic table today. Made it to the Big Springs Campground, so further than I thought I was going to get today. Real easy walking, it's all railroad grade. A little bit of loose gravel and sand, but for the most part it was pretty easy going today once I left West Yellowstone. Had a nice morning in West Yellowstone, got going about 10:30, and then kind of just went into cruiser mode, listened to some podcasts. Didn't hike exceptionally fast or anything, I just kind of kept going, didn't take a lot of breaks, and went about 4 miles further than I had originally planned. And it's kind of cool to be at this campsite. Last time I was at this campsite was 11 years ago when I did the Great Divide mountain bike route, so kind of nostalgic to be back here, walking in this time rather than riding in. But it's a cool spot. There's not very many people here, a couple other campers around, but kind of exciting to be here. So have a good night. Talk to you tomorrow.
Good morning. It is day number 12. So far for the trip, 159 miles. The plan for today is more of the same as yesterday. Lots of rails to trail walking. So I think I'm about 30 miles from where I'm meeting up with Katie for a day off on Saturday. So 2 more days of hiking to get there, and it's about 30 miles. So just hoping to close as much ground as I can so that on Friday I have a shorter hike in. So try to get at least 15 in today, so I have 15 or less tomorrow. And then be at Warm Springs for 2 nights and get my first 0 day of the trip, which I'm looking forward to.
Good evening. Just wrapping up day number 12. Camped just off of the rails to trails that I've been on for the last couple days, right next to warm river. So got a water source here, and I'll be kind of following the river all day tomorrow to the campground. Did probably about 15 miles today, but ended up being kind of hard fought. The trail's super flat. Trail is super straight, with leads to lots of sun exposure, and it also has kind of like a volcanic sand, so a lot of times it feels like you're kind of walking through the beach, which requires a little extra energy. So feel pretty tired for only having done 15 miles, but I got to exactly where I was hoping to get to. I've got another 15-ish to get to the campground tomorrow and to meet up with Katie, so that's super exciting. Tomorrow is day 13, and then I get my first 0 on Saturday, so really looking forward to that. Starting to kind of feel the wear and tear on my body of the last 2 weeks, so looking forward to a little rest and relaxation at the campground, but I've got one more day to get there, so I'm going to rest up the best I can and probably try to get a early start tomorrow morning. See if I can get there early afternoon rather than like later in the evening. So probably be pretty motivated too. So looking forward to it, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Oh, there is one more thing. For whatever reason, I don't know why this is. When you buy freeze-dried meals, backpacking meals in bulk, they give you breakfasts, which to me is a fail. Because I don't like eating them for breakfast, nor do I like eating them for dinner. But since it's my last night before resupply, it turns out, so that I don't waste it, I will be having strawberry granola cereal. I'd prefer to have beef stroganoff, but because they throw cereals into those variety packs, I will be having strawberry granola cereal. So if Bjorn ruled the world, those variety packs would be all entrees, no breakfast. Just so you know.
Good morning and welcome to day number 13. Last night was pretty interesting. Gets dark about 10 o'clock right now, and right about 10 o'clock I was in the tent kind of drifting off a little bit, and I heard a kerplunk, kerplunk, kerplunk splash right in the river, and I was like, oh, that caught my attention. I was immediately wide awake, wide-eyed. It was a little dark to get up and like look around to see what it was, but I heard that noise and it just like caught my attention. And then probably 5 or 10 minutes later, I heard something else coming up on the other side of the river, downriver, closer to the back side of the tent, and it sounded like more than one large animal. And I heard like a and I was like, oh, it's probably a moose or something. So I popped up, and when I opened up my zipper, it startled whatever it was, and I just heard him take off through the river, like crashing through the bushes into the river, and just like plunk, 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 running off. Never did see what it was, but my theory is that it was a moose, maybe a mom and a calf, or maybe the one over there was, maybe they're 2 lone moose, but enough to keep me awake for a little while. But once I did fall asleep, I slept really well. But it was a pretty exciting start to the evening. Currently I am 174 miles into the trip. The plan for today is to keep on doing some rail trails walking. Kind of getting over it, but I've only got 15 or 16 miles left to get to Warm Springs Campground, where I get to take my first 0 day, and I am excited for that. So I'm just having breakfast now. I'm going to pack things up and hit the trail, and I'll see you along the way.
been cool this morning. I just keep seeing these hawks and they're making a bunch of noise, but we'll see if I'll make any noise for us. That's pretty cool. Check it out. You can see the Tetons out there. Be out there walking through the north end of Grand Teton National Park in 4 days. It's pretty exciting. Zero-day breakfast with our own farm fresh eggs, or 3 eggs because that's all we've gotten so far. Good morning. Welcome to the day 13 wrap on day 14. Got into camp last night, pretty exhausted, pretty dehydrated. There was a long stretch walk along warm river where I could see the river, but I couldn't get down to the river, so did like 16 miles on 2 liters of water, which just wasn't enough water. But when I got to camp here, I got plenty of water and I relaxed, and then a couple hours later, Katie showed up with all the trail magic a little boy could ever want. Thanks, Katie. We had a really awesome dinner last night. We had some ravioli and got a really good night of sleep. And now we are settling into day 14. First 0 day of the trip. We've had a nice relaxing morning. We ate some fresh eggs, actually from our chickens, the very first eggs we ever got from our chickens. We had these little miniature eggs on little bagels this morning, which was fantastic. And the mileage for the trip so far is at 190, and the plan for today is to do this. Just relax, watch the river go by, eat, drink, and be merry.